Guys, I'm back again. As promised, today we are going to understand how to build Genie in the Databricks Free Edition. So for that, first of all, you should have a Free Edition account. Databricks Free Edition account is something which is available to you with your personal email ID as well. So this is the actual screen. You just need to type on Google Databricks Free Edition, and you'd be able to get the Free Edition link. Once you click on free edition link, you will arrive at such location where you will see a login screen and a sign up for free edition. When you sign up, you just need to put your personal email ID. No need to put um, any sort of credit card or anything. Just put your personal email ID and you can sign up. Once you sign up, the next time you just go and log in. So let me just quickly go and log in. Since I have logged in with the personal email ID, I can see and quickly log into my personal email ID. So this is the account that Databricks provide. It's a small workspace. So this they have started providing from last almost 1 year. Uh, they had a very limited feature last year, but nowadays they have started even giving some of the AI features as well. So let me give you just a quick walkthrough of this Databricks Free Edition account, starting from so you will see such screen whenever you are on a Databricks Free Edition account workspace. On the left hand side, you can see there are different menu available, including the workspace. On clicking the workspace, you will get to the actual workspace content. You can have recents. Then the most important component, Unity catalog. So whatever catalogs are present on the Databricks, they are present here. Then you have something called jobs and pipelines. So that is available. Compute. So on Databricks Free Edition, only two type of computes are available. One is serverless starter warehouse and another is the serverless compute. So only these two type of computes are available here. And then you have marketplace where you can get the data, or even you can share the data and share the models and lot of things you can do. Then there is a SQL section in which everything related to SQL queries are present. Like you have an editor, you can watch the queries, what all queries that you have performed. You can check like what is the history, what queries ran, how much time it took. All those things are present. Then there are dashboards. So Databricks has an amazing dashboarding feature. You can build different type of dashboards here. Then there are Genie agents. So Genie agents is something that we are going to see today, and just we are going to create one of the Genie agent on Superstore dataset. Okay? And then you have SQL warehouse. Lot of features are there, and then there is a separate section for data engineering and then AI/ML. Okay, so all the artificial intelligence and machine learning features are present here. On the top right corner, you can see there is a Genie workspace. There is a Genie code. So Genie agents are different. So Genie agents are the agents that can be created on the contextual data. But Genie code is a code assistant given by Databricks as an internal code assistant. It's an amazing feature. It's fully available in your Databricks Free Edition account. You can try a lot of things with it. Rather, today we are going to create Genie agents, or rather, we are going to fine tune the Genie agent with that only. Okay. So to start with Genie agent, in the last video that you have seen, so Genie agents are nothing but a contextual chatbot on your own company data. Okay. So Databricks has given a lot of thought to it, and with a very small set of configuration, you can build your own chatbot for your business teams. Even it's a kind of a self help. So even business teams without much of a SQL knowledge or configuration, with having a knowledge of plain simple English, they can build this out. So how to build such Genie agent? So for Genie agent, it takes the data. So there are two things whenever you are building any kind of a AI related chatbot or AI related agent. So there are majorly two things. First is the data source, and second is the context. The data source is something that you build. So for this particular video, what we are going to do is we are going to take one of the standard data set available, which is Superstore data. So let's simply go to catalog. On catalog, we need to create a table called superstore. So let me create, I have just clicked on catalog. Let's click on create catalog. Let's call it as test demo catalog, or just call it as a demo catalog. Okay, let's call it as a demo catalog. Just simply click on create. The catalog will be created. Yes, and configure catalog. For now, don't configure anything, just click on next and save, and then simply click on create schema. Okay, let's call it as demo schema. We can create a demo schema here. Once the demo schema is created, let's start playing with it. Okay, there are two things that we can build. We can build volume, we can build table. Okay, let's start with table and then browse. So superstore dataset is something which is freely available on the internet. You can search for superstore dataset. You will get a CSV. I'll also share the link in chat for superstore dataset, or even I can share a git with file. So that is also possible. So I have already downloaded that superstore CSV dataset. So I'll just search for superstore dataset, and then let's simply take this superstore dataset. Okay. So Databricks has an amazing feature that you can build a table out of it. So sample superstore is the name. You can just let's rename it to something AI demo superstore. Okay. And then it will take some time to load the data. It will try to understand the data. It will pull out all the columns, and if your CSV is right, it is going to pull out all the columns and data. Even the data type of the column is also inferred. So row ID, it's an integer. It's an order ID, so it's alphanumeric. So string, order date is date, and then all other type of columns are present here. Okay, so you just can simply say and create table. So it will take like 2 minutes, but it will automatically create a table for you. Okay, let's wait. Once the table is created, what we are going to do is, yes, so table is created now. Um, Table is ready. Okay, so just simply go and say that, okay, whatever definition it is showing, it is an AI generated definition, just read it out. If it looks okay to you, just click on accept. Okay. So you got your table also got the description as well. Now the next step that we are going to take is, we are going to create a Genie. So two things I mentioned that we need for creating an AI related agent. First is the data set, and second important thing is the context. Okay, so now let's go to agents. Data set is ready. So let's click on Superstore Analytics. It will redirect you to your data set that you have created. So just now you have created AI demo Superstore. Just click on it and click on create. The moment it is done, it will be created. You can go to configure, you can change the name of this. Let's change the name. Let's not call it a new agent. uh, on this you can just go and edit, not just description, you can edit a lot of other things as well. So this is done. Okay, you can edit it here. Let's not call it new agent, let's call it as super store agent. Superstore agent. Okay. Now what we simply do is, Superstore agent is ready. So Superstore agent, you can see different configurations that are available. So it's a chat agent that is created by Databricks. With just few clicks, you see that you are able to associate some data sources, and you can ask the question. So let's ask some basic question. What type of data set is present? Okay. Let's ask this question. The spelling is, I did a spelling mistake, but that's fine. Agent should be able to understand that. It will do some sort of a thinking. It will check what data set is present. It will try and understand that data set, and then it will give you some answer. On the right hand side in sources, you can see you have just added only one table, which is AI demo superstore. But in reality, you can add um, almost 30 tables to Genie. Okay, so that is possible. So it has answered. There is a retail traditional data set. This is the retail traditional data set from Superstore covering 4 years of data. So it has done some basic runs on it, and it was able to give you some sort of an answer. Okay, that's a basic answer you are getting. Okay, so you can see that you can ask a basic question. Let's ask some more specific question. What is the what is the sales by region? Okay, since it's a superstore, so there must be some sales. So let's ask what are the sales by region. Let's see what answer it gives. It is thinking. It is just checking. Let's you must check what it is doing. Sales by region with percentages. So it is trying to check that. Okay. So it is saying that the West region leads with 725K in sales, but it has given a nice graph which gives you a distribution of sales by region: West, East, Central, South. This type of thing is present. Then regional performance detail, a detailed summary of this regional performance is also given, and a regional sales summary. So on the basis of whatever data it was able to find out, and based on general intelligence, it is able to reply to you. The reason I'm showing this to you is these are the basic things that you can ask the question, you can ask Genie, right? And it is you can see, right, it is capable of answering. Now there must be a question like what LLMs or what intelligence it is using behind the scene. So Databricks does not disclose the LLMs that are being used behind the Genie, but they are fairly good enough to give you accurate answers. Now now this is just the basic thing, okay, but then you may want to fine tune this sort of a application. You may want to fine tune the chatbot. Okay, so for example, let's see, uh, so this average transaction value, or for that matter, if I ask some of the complex question like margin, what is my margin on this particular product, correct? So these type of questions are very difficult to answer. They are not difficult to answer, but there are multiple perspectives to margin, right? Somebody may say that okay, I calculate margin with sales. Somebody may say that okay, I calculate margin with okay these type of column. So there might be some variations. And LLM, if you keep the possibility of variation, then LLM may give one answer at one point in time and another answer at some point in time. Okay, just an example, another example I can give you is, let's say I ask sales by region or the highest sales by region. The LLM sometimes doesn't just answer the highest sales by region. It is going to answer a lot of other things as well, like highest sales by region along with sales by region graph and so many things, right? So we may not want that. We want a specific answer sometimes to a specific question. So all those type of fine tuning needs to be done to a chatbot to ensure that the response is as per our need. Okay. So then the question is, what are the levers that are available for me to fine tune this agent? Okay. So some of the levers that are available to fine tune this agent are, so for this, we have, let me show you all the levers first. So description. So the first lever that is available for fine tuning any of the agent. Let me bring my notepad in. Okay. So first lever that is available for fine tuning any of this agent is uh, is the data. Okay. Is first is the data. So we must play with the data. We must ensure that the data is almost correct so that the agent is capable of answering it well. That is the first benchmark, first thing that we do. The second thing that we do is we give instructions to the LLM. We give instructions to LLM. There is another option. We give sample queries to LLM. So basically, Genie Agent is a SQL and SQL conversational agent. So it understands SQL very well. Okay. So we start from there. It understands SQL very well. So we can give sample queries and they will be useful. We can even give some of the examples. I'll show you all those things. Okay. We can give some of the examples, and all these things you can build it by hand. So if you click on simple, there is a button called configure on the right hand side. If you click on configure, you have this multiple sort of a locations at which you can give instructions, examples, metrics, sources, and lot of other things. Okay, so all these things you can do. Let me just duplicate and let's start with our fine tuning exercise. So the first fine tuning exercise that we do is with the data. So let me quickly go to catalog and um, wherever I loaded the table, right? So catalog, then I loaded, I think, demo catalog. In that there was demo schema, and in that I loaded this particular table. I already generated an AI description. On the similar lines, I can click on AI generate and generate some of the description for my columns. By the time the descriptions are generated, I'll tell you the importance of description of table and column. It is extremely essential to give description to the column because your LLM understands plain simple English. LLM is totally Genie is totally integrated into the Unity catalog. So if you give right description and right comments on the column, then it is easier for Genie to understand the table as well as understand the column. So this is the first and most essential part of it, that you give description to the table and comments on the column. So let's save all of them. Once you save this particular thing, you can see that every particular column has a comment. Okay, and if you are since this is a demo, otherwise we go back to the customer or connect to or carefully read the description and make sure that the description is proper. Okay, so once this description is done, our first part is done, we have configured the data. Now let's quickly move to configure the Genie. As I said, click on configure. We will also use the Genie chatbot as well. So let's quickly Genie Code as well, which is a Databricks Databricks coding feature, a coding assistant that has been provided. So let's start the new chat. I have already written down one prompt for it. So let me quickly pull that prompt and I'll pull that prompt. Maybe I can, if you don't find this prompt easy to recognize in the video, then just let me know. I'll just paste it in the chat. Okay, but this is the prompt that we are that I'm giving. Okay, so accidentally I copied something else. Let me pull that prompt up and let me put this prompt quickly. Okay, so this prompt, otherwise which would have taken almost 1 or 2 days for me to configure the Genie, this prompt might just do the magic. Okay, so I have just opened the Genie code just beside the Genie agent so that it already understands the context that I have to do everything on my left side. Okay, so now let's see what all things they are doing. It is trying to read the agent configuration, it is trying to read the table structure. Already it is trying to do that. It is trying to read the instruction. It will right now find no instructions here. It's completely empty. Then it will prepare all these things. So it is saying that I have asked him to add the description, I have asked him to add detailed instructions, I have asked him to create some SQL examples, and I have asked him to create some measures for me. So these are 4 things I uh, wanted Genie code to configure my Genie agent. Okay, uh, so it is saying that okay, it has done all these things, it is able to figure those things out. Would you like me to proceed in adding those in the configuration? So let me just quickly say yes, and it should do the magic. For the most important part, it will always ask for your permission. So now it is right now creating all these things. Once it is done, it will ask for the permission for these things to be added. Perfect. So it is saying that I'll configure the 4 areas. So it is now trying to update the agent. Okay. So it is now updating the superstore agent, and then uh, it will ask for our permissions. Okay. So it has created. It is saying updating agent configuration. We will say allow it, updating, adding instructions. So it will add the instructions. It will quickly add the instructions here, and adding knowledge snippets will add the knowledge snippets. So instructions are added. You can see some of the instructions are added. Then sources are already there. Description is also added. So you can see the description is added to the Genie. automatically, since I gave a permission, sources was already there, instructions are added perfectly. So customer segmentation, geographical analysis. So it is saying that okay, if there is a question, we'll go in detail on how to do the things, but just using it right now. Okay, we'll have a detailed section on this, on how it is useful. Okay, it has created some of the examples, like let's say if somebody asks for like what are the top 10 products by sale, so it is saying that okay, you must use this sort of a query, and you should go for product name and total sales. Okay, and you should always group by something called product name. Okay, so it is giving sort of a sample queries to you. Okay? So this will work out and it will give some sample queries. So there are questions and then there are measures to it. Okay, now let us test this space quickly. Now let's ask them what is the profit margin. Let's ask what is the profit margin for each of the product. Let's ask some complex question. What is the profit margin by product? Okay, so let's see what answer it gives. What is the profit margin by product? Profit margin by product is, it is saying that always go for superstore demo profit column and you should divide it with the sales. So profit divided by sales is going to give me the profit margin. Okay, so that's what as an instruction I have provided to it. So these things can be added by hand, but since Genie Code Assistant is there, we did it quickly with our Genie Code. Okay. This is done. Let's see what the answer is. It will take some time, but let's see what it is thinking. It has pulled out top 20 product, and so see perfectly. So profit margin by subcategory, and if you check the code, so it is going to show how it has calculated the profit margin percentage. It is always similar to what we have given it as a hint, is profit divided by sales. So it is saying that divide a profit column with sales, which we have given as a hint to Genie as a sample query, calculate the profit margin percentage. And then it has shown a nice graph as well, a visualization to help you that where the profit margins are more. So each time you ask the question, with 10 times, 20 times, 30 times you ask, it is going to perform the same sort of a calculation uh, without deviating, because you have given a sample instruction, you have fine tuned the Genie. Okay, so this is how Genie works. For a detailed session, we will try and understand it more. We'll try to learn benchmarks as well. So this was the starting of this. Please do create your own Databricks Free Edition account and try these Genie agents as a product. You will gain a lot of experience on this. Okay, so with the promise that we'll have next video in which we'll go deep in detail of what what these sources are, then what instructions are. You need to how you need to be careful about even instructions, sources, and examples, and ensure that they are not conflicting to each other. So it's a different sort of an engineering, which we call it as context engineering in play. Okay, so thank you for joining for this video. We'll have a next video on which we'll go more detail or have a deep dive into this superstore Genie which we have created. But by the time, before going to next video, I want you guys to create your Databricks free account and create the Genie for yourself. Okay, thank you guys, thanks for listening.